Let's go down to the Kennedy Space Center and take a look at Challenger sitting on the pad.
3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff.
More delays than NASA cares to count. Looks like a couple of the solid rocket boosters blew away from the side of the shuttle in an explosion. Holding their breath, just I'm sure as everyone else is.
From the flight dynamics officer that the vehicle has exploded.
About 45 seconds after liftoff, a huge fireball.
Medical personnel were dispatched by parachute down into the water to search for survivors.
And when I saw the fireball in the sky, I knew no one could have survived that. It's gotta be the toughest thing I've ever done in my life.
The engineers at the bottom must probably scream, this is my imagination, they're screaming up, no, it can't be this way, it can't be this way. We can only go 10 flights, we haven't got enough equipment to train that many crews a year, so forth and so on. And the people at the top who are talking to Congress don't want to hear this. And so they discourage information from moving up. They don't want to hear what happens. It goes up, and each level in a bureaucracy kind of understands what it's supposed to do. What was difficult was the discovery of these weaknesses inside of NASA and their attitudes. This kind of illogic about safety and so forth, which was so extensive from an organization which had such a reputation in the country that it was hard for us to find it out in a sort of emotional way, as to have to come around and say that the Wizard of Oz, which everybody respects, has nothing behind it.
The Challenger disaster is one of many examples of what can happen when leaders aren't able to hear the voices inside their organization. These voices are a complex interplay of various perspectives, experiences, and narratives, and make up what scientists call organisational sensemaking. But to understand that, we need to understand individual sensemaking. Since the dawn of time, our survival has depended on our ability to make fast decisions. This sensemaking operates automatically, shaping our responses and guiding our unconscious decision making. It's an intrinsic part of our cognitive functioning. Fight or flight decisions take less than a second to make because our hunter-gatherer ancestors did not have the luxury of time. If they were confronted with a threat, they had to act immediately or they would die. Logical or rational decision-making processes have been refined through socialization for tens of thousands of years, but the race between the two is not even close. Emotion-laden pathways in the human brain are much faster than the logical signals, and because of this, your logical judgment simply can't intervene in time. It takes time to think, plan, analyse, and act. Dr. Mike Carter, an expert in this field of science, explains why sensemaking is relevant to organisations.
Sensemaking is the way that individuals reflexively make very, very rapid decisions. Not always accurately, but the synthesis is certainly rapid. And if that process stands fast for individuals, if we can tap into the way that collectively organisations make sense through that process and inform almost real time the unfolding of drama in an organisation, when I say drama, what would be termed to be normal events, if we can map those through the individual and collective sense making of the people in an organisation, we're going to enable the leaders in those organisations to have a more visceral understanding of how activities are perceived and how opportunities and threats are perceived.
So what is the relevance of sensemaking for leaders today? In this complex and uncertain world, how can sensemaking help you have a more predictive view of your performance and prevent potential crisis?
Space Center and take a look at Challenger sitting on the pad.
We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.